Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th annual Dragon Challenge. Round of applause, everyone. Let's have a good time tonight. We're going to have a wonderful, beautiful time tonight, and we'll make it very interactive. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to clap. We're going to cheer. And we're not going to be, I'm proud of being Asian American, but we're not going to be like an Asian crowd, all right? And what I mean by that is I've hosted so many Asian shows where we're really quiet. I hosted this, one Asian show. There was thousands of people, and these young Asian rappers came out. You could tell they're nervous. They're sweating, and they came out and they're like, "Come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hand." There wasn't a single hand in the air, right? Everybody was tired. It was hot. All the kids were like, "I don't know these guys. You know these guys?" If I was an Asian rapper, I'll get everybody on my side. I would use reverse psychology. I would come out like, "If you're feeling me, sit still. If you're feeling me, sit still. Just breathe, blink, stare, and think. Keep your hands down, keep your hands down, keep your hands down, keep your hands down. Yo, 1, 2, 3 to the 4. If you think I'm the best, just breathe through your nose, breathe through your mouth, breathe some air. To me, that's the same as your hand in the air, as your hand in the air. Know it's down by your side. That's how I know you're feeling my rhyme. When I do nothing, you do nothing." Oh yeah, that's how we do it. Thank you very much. Reverse psychology. Thank you very much. Thank you. See, we can have a good time. We can be loud. Even in this event where it's turning ultimate pain into something positive. I'm a friend of Daniel and Grace. It's an honor to be your MC tonight. They're like a big brother and sister to me. Such an amazing example. I'm also a parent. My wife and I have 3 young ones, like Daniel, Dragon. My last name's Kim. And my last name's Kim. I really wanted my son to be a leader in America. I wanted to name him Martin Luther Kim. Martin Luther Kim, a leader in the Asian community. My wife's like, that's so much pressure. Don't do that to our son. So my second choice was Abraham Lin Kim. Abraham Lin Kim. Maybe he could aim to be president. Why do you want to do that? That's so much pressure. So we don't want to put pressure. We named him Lion. He's the Lion Kim, and there's no pressure. And no, just kidding. Solomon, Sophie, and Silas, and when I hug them, sometimes I think of Daniel and Grace and Dragon. When I first met them, I didn't know. I didn't know the story, and when I just next to them, I just started bawling. My wife and I just hugged them, prayed with them, and I was so moved, and since then we've had a friendship. I was able to MC the first year, and then I didn't really knew how much it grew, and now it's the 5th year, and it's just so amazing what they've done. And so before we start, I wrote a little poem for them, and I just want to share that with you. We are here today to honor the life of Dragon. Thank you, Daniel and Grace. Sometimes we take it for granted. I think of you when I hug my kids. All the pain you've been through. Can't imagine you've turned pain into love, shining light on talent. Of all the kids who loved music like Dragon, his life lives on through every song. He's smiling down, watching us all from heaven. Training, mentorship, entrepreneurship, project funding. You've made a lasting impact on hundreds of lives. Eternally, at the end of our lives, all we have is our memories, temporary pleasures, or eternal treasures from giving. We're here today. These students are saying, "Let us shine and thank you for the Dragon Foundation." Thank you. Thank you for letting me share it. Oh, man. Oh. Thank you. I told myself, don't cry, and then I just, I don't, as parents, I don't think we could think of anything that's more painful. So thank you all for being here today for this beautiful event. And I just have so much respect for Daniel and Grayson. There's so many volunteers that are part of this, including our amazing judges and all of you that are here today. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage Orion Tang, who will recite a poem from Dragon and a chamber ensemble made up of student instructors from our Dragon Kim music program, playing Dear Theodosia from the musical Hamilton.
All right, hello everyone. My name's Ryan Tang, and while they get it set up, I'll just briefly introduce the poem I'm going to be reading. I met Dragon in middle school, and for the few short but fulfilling years that I knew him, he was probably one of the most exuberant people I have met and will ever meet. This poem I'm about to read, written by Dragon himself, is from during a time in our lives when all we had to worry about was what kind of crazy things we do to impress our middle school crushes, how to get an A on the next test, or just having fun as a kid should. As you'll see, Dragon was focused on so much more than that. Surely he was preoccupied with the crushes, the grades, and the fun. But he had his sights set on the stars, dreaming bigger and digging deeper into life's burning questions. And as we continue to process Dragon's and Justin's tragic passing, even 7 years later, I believe his words from the poem resonate with us even more so today with each passing day. And I know he would be really proud of the amazing things that the Dragon Fellows have accomplished, and especially proud of his family for continuing to fight on and honor his memory through the foundation and continue living their lives. This is Live Life by Dragon Kim, accompanied by a string quartet rendition of Dear Theodosia from Hamilton. Life is a gift, so live it to the fullest. Grow happy and gaily, for you only have one shot. Life is what you make it, so make it amazing. Don't live in the shadows of the world. Life is a game, so play to your heart's content. Don't let anything hold you back. Life is limitless, so shoot past the stars. Don't let the weight of the world bring you down. Life is given, so give to those who need it. And in return, others will give to you. Life is fleeting, so don't chase it, run with it. Life is beautiful, so open your eyes. Let the light from the world shine in your face. Life is gone, but don't cry, for you were just visiting.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. That was amazing. And now please join me in welcoming to the stage Dragon's parents and the co-founders of the Dragon Kim Foundation, Grace Tsai and Daniel Kim.
Thank you, PK. Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Kim. I'm co-founder and chairman of the board of the Dragon Kim Foundation. My most treasured role, though, is as Dragon and Hannah's dad. I want to welcome you with all my sincerity and gratitude for coming this evening. Welcome to the 2022 Dragon Challenge.
Good evening. My name is Grace Tsai. I'm the executive director of the Dragon Kim Foundation, and I am Dragon and Hannah's mom. Welcome to the 2022 Dragon Challenge. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for joining us in that beautiful performance of Dear Hamilton's Dear Theodosia. That was a hard slideshow for me. I don't know if you guys had a favorite photo, but I really love the one where Dragon has a sign above his head that says, "Party don't start till I show up." We started the Dragon Kim Foundation just a few weeks after we lost our son, Dragon. We started with the music program at OSHA because Dragon loved music. And Dragon, one of his visions was to have a place to be able to teach music to the students of Santa Ana. So we started with the music program. Then we added the college scholarship program, and then we added the fellowship program. And the fellowship program started with a very simple question. The question was, what project would you undertake to make the world a better place if you didn't have to worry about money? And with that, what we realized is high school students are super creative, but they're high school students, so they don't have experience running big projects, they don't necessarily have connections, and they don't have money. But these are all solvable problems. Daniel and I realized these are things that we could address. What you can't buy is that fire in the belly to make a difference. And so that's why we started the fellowship program.
So we launched the fellowship program in 2017. Back then, we only had 5 projects with 11 amazing high school students who came to us wanting to make a difference. And boy, did they. Today, in 2022, we have funded 35 projects this year, consisting of 71 Dragon Fellows from 32 high schools across California, Arizona, and Nevada, and we hope to grow even more. Each Dragon Fellow receives 3 weekends of intensive leadership training, business training. We call that an MBA in a box, not an MBA. Dean Williamson. We have the dean of the business school here, so I got to be careful what I say about conferring degrees, right? So it's an MBA in a box. They're assigned a mentor with whom they work every week for the entire spring, planning and preparing for their project. And they're granted up to $5,000, depending on their budget, to go out and execute their project and make it come to life. They have done some pretty amazing things, and you'll see that. Tonight, you'll see 3 project teams. They'll present to you their idea, their plan, the difficulties that they went through and what they want to achieve. But let's not forget that we started with 35 this year, and those 35 also did amazing things. Together, those 35 projects, I'm going to read some stats here. Those 35 projects, they recruited 216 individuals, other high school students, college students, adults, to come and help them execute their projects. Those volunteers logged in over 3,500 hours of volunteer time and directly impacted almost 8,000 individuals, little kids all the way up to senior citizens. We are extremely proud of all of them, and we're here to celebrate them all, and not just the 3 that are presenting today.
So I love the work that I get to do with the Dragon Kim Foundation. And I love it because I don't just get to work with teens, but adults that think not just about themselves, but how they can improve the lives of others. The work of the Dragon Kim Foundation would not be possible without the help of friends and supporters like each of you in this room. The same way that the fellowship program supports students, our foundation is supported by key people who share our vision. Today, I'd like to recognize two organizations that have been instrumental in our growth and development. We'd first like to recognize the Sun Family Foundation. Their executive director, Joanna Kong, first attended our Dragon Challenge in 2018. Joanna was so impressed by the work she saw from our amazing teen leaders, she's been a loyal supporter ever since. Sun Family Foundation's vision is to enable a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. So they've been particularly supportive of our work to make our transformational program accessible to all. Please help me welcome Joanna Kong from the Sun Family Foundation. I also get the pleasure of recognizing the amazing support from the Massimo Foundation. This is the third year Massimo has been our presenting sponsor for the Dragon Challenge. Joe Chiani started Massimo in 1989 and now presides over the medical device manufacturer, which is Orange County's fifth most valuable public company with an $8.2 billion market cap. Joe and Sarah started the Massimo Foundation to foster innovation and creativity and focus on transformative projects that make the world a better place. We loved that alignment with the work of Dragon Kim Foundation. We've enjoyed having Joe and Sarah as judges on this stage. Today, we're humbled and grateful to have Sarah Chiani representing Massimo Foundation. Please help me welcome Sarah to the stage. And now, allow me to introduce our Fellowship Program Manager for Nevada and Arizona, Amber Seraphin.
Welcome, everyone. I had the honor of joining the Dragon Kim Foundation this year, and it has been such an incredible experience. I've loved getting to witness the vision, creation, and execution of something that started out as a wild dream by teenagers. Passionate, driven, powerful teens who are committed to making a difference in their world. I am so excited for you to experience just a glimpse of that tonight. As we continue through the evening, we'd love to continue engaging with you. Here are a few ways that you can have that happen right on your phones. At this time, I'm going to ask that you all silence your devices, but be sure to keep them close by, as we will be playing a judge's quiz, and you will have an opportunity to vote for your favorite project of the evening. First and foremost, you are able to give at any time during our show through our Dragon Challenge giving campaign by following the QR code that you can find on your program that you received as you walked in. You can scan the code through there, on the screen, or you can type in the link. Go ahead and scan that code now and visit our giving page. Take a moment to make sure that you, along with everyone who came with you today, can open that as well. Second, in just a moment, we'll introduce our judges and play a quick quiz. The QR code in your program will also take you directly to that quiz online, or you can scan it from the screen as well. Lastly, after our 3 projects present this evening, you will have an opportunity to vote for your favorite project of this evening. Again, all of these QR codes can be found on your program, or you can access the program through scanning the code on the screen. And if you would like to give and have any questions, we do have ushers in the audience who can support you with that. If you need any support getting onto our page, or if you would like to give via cash or check, they can also support with that. Thank you so much again for joining us this evening and making tonight so special.
Thank you, Amber. And thank you to our sponsors and those who have already given online. If you scan the donate QR code, we're already over 122,000. Our goal is to get to 150,000. And it is now my honor to be able to introduce to you our panel of judges for today's challenge. Please welcome our first judge. He's the Dean of the UC Irvine Paul Mirage School of Business. He was appointed Dean of the UCI Paul Mirage School of Business in January 2021, and prior to joining the Mirage School, he served as the Dean of the Wellington School of Business and Government at Victoria University in New Zealand. He's globally recognized in human resource management, and his research focuses on how organizations and communities can develop strong talent pipelines focused on inclusiveness and digital leadership. We applaud him for his focus on community partnership. Please welcome Dean Ian Williamson. If you could stand up, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, please welcome our judge representing the Kwanzaa Jones and Jose E. Feliciano Initiative. Jose and Kwanzaa, unfortunately, have had an unexpected conflict and could not attend tonight. And she's the president and founder of LA Inclusionista, a boutique consulting practice that works in partnership with the Jones Feliciano Initiative, a passionate leader and change maker with diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in the workplace and beyond. She is proud to work with the Jones Feliciano Initiative to bring an equity lens to their philanthropic investment, which includes over $25 million to education initiatives. Hispanic Executive Magazine named her a leading Latina in recognition of her career achievements over 22 years at Paramount Pictures Viacom, where she most recently served as Senior VP of Global Inclusion Strategy. Please welcome Anita Ortiz. Anita. We're joking in the back. I was like, what's your name? She's like, Anita. I was like, oh, it's not Anita? She's like, I'm just kidding. You know, some people mess with you at parties. She's funny. Lastly, please welcome our third judge. She's the president and CEO of 211OC, a nonprofit organization that offers a comprehensive information referral system linking Orange County residents to community and health human services and support. She brings to her CEO role a wealth of experience from general management, business development, technology, marketing, sales, and finance with Fortune 500 companies. The driving force behind her is a passion to both educate the community about their fellow residents in need and to connect people with the services they need when they need it most. Please welcome Karen Williams. Thank you so much to our wonderful judges. And since we have this impressive panel of judges, we wanted to take this opportunity for you to get to know them. We asked each of them to share with us a quote that's meaningful to them. And audience, we're going to give you a chance to guess which judge submitted which quote. So take out your phones right now. It's just going to be a fun game. We're going to ask each judge to explain why the quote is important after. But please, right now, if you can scan this QR code on the screen, and you can also scan it in there's a program, in your program book, you got a paper that has the code. And so if you need help, you can ask your neighbor. If you scan it correctly, it'll allow you to open up a browser where you can assign each quote with each judge right now. So once you have it down, I'm going to ask if you could just raise your hand if you got it. And once I see a lot of hands raised, we'll be good to go. I see some people still working on it. It's all good. There was a Super Bowl commercial that had one of these, I believe, Coinbase. So if you scan this right now, you can just play this quick game and guess which quote goes with which judge. You guys ready? Yes? Hands raised? Okay, all right. We're going to go with quote number 1. When the time comes to bet on yourself, I hope you double down. Oprah Winfrey. Audience, take your best guess. Which judge submitted this quote right here? All right, no cheating. The dean of UC Irvine is here. All right, no cheating. Don't look at your neighbor. Okay, next quote is, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Marianne Williamson. Whose quote is this? Which judge submitted this quote? And lastly, quote number 3. Life without knowledge is death in disguise. Talib Kweli, taken from the song KOS, Determination. Which judge chose that quote? Okay. You guys good? How'd you all do? Okay, first of all, it's okay. There's no shame. If you have 0, raise your hand. You got 0? All right. It's all good. I appreciate your integrity and honesty and raising your hand. If you got 1, you got 1? All right. All right. You got 1. If you got 2, raise your hand. 2. If you have 3, all 3, raise your hand. Congratulations to you. You got full scholarship to UC Irvine from our dean right here. Thank you very much. Just talk to him after. Don't talk to me. All right. So it's just a fun exercise just to get to, let you know we're going to be using our phones right here, and we're getting to know our judges. And we'd like to thank our judges about their leadership. At this time, if we can invite our judges up on stage right now, we're just going to ask them what each quote meant to them right now. So we're going to invite our judges. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Who would like to go first, and which was your quote?
I'd be happy to go first. So my quote. All right, there we go. Here, we'll switch. Okay, hello everyone. I'm Anita Ortiz, and yes, I quoted Oprah Winfrey because she's very quotable, but this quote, I was at a point in my life, I had worked at a company for 22 years, and I was wondering, what's next for me? And when you're comfortable, it's so easy to stay in the comfort. And I was thinking about starting my own business, and this showed up on Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, Oprah's telling me, quit my job, go start your business. And that's what I did. So I think Oprah and I think Instagram. So this one's mine, actually from Marianne Williamson, but life gets so incredibly fast-paced and frantic, and we have a tendency to just kind of get pushed along. And one day I heard this in a meditation type of thing, and I'm a person of deep faith, and it just really struck me about if I just kind of stop and get myself out of the picture and say, and hear the voice saying or asking, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? Every time I do that, it just kind of centers and grounds me, and it's ended up being something that I use all the time, and I use it in any difficult situation when you're under a lot of stress, and it just kind of calms my center and centers me, which has been really wonderful. So it's interesting because I got it because Oprah Winfrey, when she started her website, believe it or not, back in 2005, websites were pretty new, she was using Marianne Williamson as a way to get you to go to her website. And that was where I got these recordings, and that's how I learned it. So there you go. So I don't know how you're going to follow up on that, Dean, but good luck.
So mine has nothing to do with Oprah. I actually am from Chicago, and I did go see the Oprah Winfrey Show in person. But she has nothing to do with this. The relevant aspect is I'm from Chicago, and I'm a huge hip-hop fan. This is the soundtrack of my life, right? And so this is taken from one of my favorite songs, Talib Kweli. It's actually, the name of the album, the group is called Black Star. And I remember listening to this, and I'm an educator. How could you not love this? Like, this is like the perfect anthem for anybody who calls themselves an educator as to why what we do is so important. So it just stuck with me. I wasn't an educator when I first heard it, but it stuck with me. And then years later, it kind of kept going over my mind, and it's just a constant reminder as to why this is so important. So thank you for letting me share it.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our judges, yes. And we're going to ask them to come back up at the end of the show, and they have the very, very difficult task of voting between our finalists. I was so hoping that Karen's was Talib Kweli. That would have been cool, huh? Did anybody vote Talib Kweli for Karen? That would have been awesome, yeah. She's like, you guys don't know what I. At this time, judges, are you ready? Audience, you guys ready? Ready for the Dragon Challenge? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our first project, Project Fusion, Amisha Chandra and Zainab Amani, Legacy Magnet Academy.
Hi everyone, my name is Amisha Chandra.
And my name is Zainab Himani.
And we are 11th graders from Legacy Magnet Academy.
We created Project Fusion.
Growing up as teenagers in 2022, most of our lives were influenced by the things that we saw online. Society's standards, stereotypes, and the media all impact us in ways that make we change the way we view ourselves and others.
As social media becomes more prominent in our lives, certain standards intervene with our way of being. Especially over the course of the pandemic, Amisha and I both felt the effects of this. We were holding ourselves to a certain standard of health that really wasn't healthy at all.
I'm sure we've all been told this at least once in our lives. Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Unfortunately, it's not as easy as it seems.
Being misinformed by the things that we hear and see on the media prompts us to be closed-minded in regards to what we eat, how we act, how we look like, and even the things that we enjoy.
The both of us struggle with body image issues for a period of our lives, so we turned to the internet to look for answers and advice as to how we could change ourselves.
But everything we ended up finding was either misleading, harmful, or simply not true. And after making a few connections, we realized that a lot of other people feel the same way.
During our first Project Fusion launch, we asked our participants to tell us one way the media impacted the way they viewed themselves. This is what Bella said: "I felt like I needed a flat stomach to be pretty."
Now, this sentiment and many others can be really harmful to young minds, not to mention that it is constantly stressed online and in our culture.
Only then did we realize the scope of the issue and began to dig deeper. We found out that mental health disorders are the #1 cause for disability worldwide, and around 2/3 of people who have those mental disabilities go untreated.
This is mainly due to the lack of health education and resources in our homes, schools, and environment, which is why we created Project Fusion. Our goal is to redefine wellness through education and community.
Project Fusion aims to reevaluate what true well-being means by providing kids and teens with a proper education on mental, physical, and nutritional health, breaking down myths on health ideals, and by creating a safe space.
But it wasn't always this way. Initially, Project Fusion started out as an initiative for mental and physical health only for teenage girls. We heavily relied on guest speakers to deliver information, and we had minimal one-on-one interaction with our participants.
Although our first camp was a success, we weren't fond of the formatting and decided to make a few changes. We made our project inclusive to all genders and younger age groups, as well as including more topics in our curriculum and creating a closer-knit community.
After all, everyone is subject to misinformation through the media, and we wanted to cover all of our bases. We crafted a week-long curriculum where we taught about a new topic each day and went through fun and interactive activities with the kids.
Day 1 was mental health. We defined what mental health was, identified personal stressors that they faced, and how to overcome them through engaging activities and exercises.
Day 2 was about physical health. Here we talked about the importance of physical activity and how specific exercises have different benefits on different parts of your body. We also stressed the importance between a mind and body connection and how mental and physical health go hand in hand.
Day 3 was all about nutrition. We talked about what a calorie was, how to analyze nutritional information and what that means, as well as how to make healthy choices for your body while still allowing yourself to indulge in the things you love.
Our fourth and final day was about sleep hygiene. Usually, your parents tell you you need to go to bed early, and everyone says you need at least 7 hours of sleep. But that just goes in one ear and straight out the other, which is why we talked about the science behind sleep, and this helped our kids understand its importance. We talked about dreams and how sleep affects the rest of our bodies as well.
Throughout the summer, we held 3 different Project Fusion camps, each in different locations and with different sets of kids. We had 20 volunteers, 689 volunteer hours, and we directly impacted 135 people.
At each camp, we gave every student a pre- and post-survey, asking them to rate how well they knew how to take care of their mental health on a scale of 1 to 5. 83% of participants at the beginning of our camp voted a 2 or lower, but by the end, 100% of our participants changed their vote to a 4 or 5.
This was Camp 1, where we trained 10 high school volunteers on how to set up our event and familiarize them with our curriculum. We also invited 5 guest speakers to talk about mental, physical, and nutritional health, as well as their journeys as women in their respective fields.
This was Camp 2. We used the curriculum that we crafted to lead a week-long camp where we taught 20 kids about proper wellness and trained 5 high school volunteers. We partnered with an organization called Jamboree Housing. Camp 3 followed the same camp format as Camp 2. We taught another set of 20 kids about proper wellness, trained another set of 5 high school volunteers, and this time partnered with an organization called Grandma's House of Hope.
After receiving feedback from our event, we discovered that 98% of our participants said they learned something new about themselves.
We also found that 96% of our children said that they would use what we taught them in their everyday lives.
At the end of each event, we gave everyone a Post-it note and asked them to write down something they took away from the day. The following includes 3 quotes, one of them being, "Rejection is opportunity for redirection." And remember, Bella, this is what you told us at the end of our camp.
I don't think health can be measured using one standard. Everyone is different, so it's important, so learning about health in a positive, open-ended light is really helpful.
We don't realize how dangerous health misinformation can be on our daily lives. But seeing Bella improve over the course of our camp made us understand how much even a little bit of information can benefit someone.
So about our next steps, we have boiled it down to 3 main goals: curriculum, access, and outreach. To begin with, curriculum. We want to expand our curriculum to include more topics such as time management, dental hygiene, and exploring other cultures. And after working with so many younger kids, we have realized how important games are when it comes to learning, which is why we want to use our curriculum and turn it into a fun and interactive game that the children will love.
In order to make an even longer lasting impact, we want to transfer our curriculum online by creating animated videos. These animated videos would be published to our social media and YouTube channels, making them available to the public.
We want to transcend socioeconomic barriers by creating more camps in low-income areas where we can serve and educate more students that need exposure on these topics.
We would love to charter Project Fusion for high schools in your area. We already have students from Huntington Beach High School, Oxford Preparatory Academy, and Fairmont who want to start Project Fusion clubs at their own schools.
So we would love your support to help us keep kids smiling with Project Fusion. Thank you.
At this time, after each performance, we're going to have a presentation. We're going to have the judges ask the performers a question, the contestants a question.
I think I'll start. That was phenomenal. I hope your families and friends are in the audience because they should be extraordinarily proud of what you did today, but obviously what you accomplished. Just real quick, I have one question and one suggestion. This question, and either of you can answer or both. If you look at the curriculum that you had over the camps, what was one thing that was important for you to take from that? What did you learn that stuck with you?
I think the biggest thing actually was about calories, because ever since I was younger, like the word calories has always been kind of important to me, like something like counting calories. All those negative ideas have kind of been in my head since I was a child, and actually learning about what they are and their true meaning, and realizing that calories aren't bad. That was one of the biggest takeaways, and even I learned that from our own curriculum. So that's what I would say it was for me.
I think for me it was sleep hygiene, because I used to not get a lot of sleep, and sometimes I still don't, but understanding what happens with sleep hygiene and understanding oh yeah, if I stay out more, if I get more vitamin D during the day, it'll be easier for me to sleep at night. And actually putting these practices, implementing them into my life, made it easier for me, and then I was able to study more, and then I've got better grades, and just my whole life after that.
Sounds great. So the suggestion, I love the follow-up points, and I don't want to add to your work, but I think we have some college students here that probably could benefit from this program. So I'll plant that seed for you.
Thank you.
And I echo the compliments. It was a phenomenal job, and it's an area that I'm very passionate about for myself, so I'm so glad to see you do this. One question's going to be kind of a funny one, but it's do you appreciate your parents more? And what they tell you to do?
Yeah. We had to do
It's
with
funny,
so
isn't
many
it?
kids. Yeah, that we had to incentivize them with popsicles and pool parties, and they were talking, and so I have to really thank them now, because imagine what they had to deal with when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, when my stepdaughter turned 16, I got into the habit of calling my parents once a week and apologizing for anything I might have done. So these are always good lessons to take along with you. What I'm curious about was, what was the biggest surprise for you as you work through this process? Not so much the information you learned, but what did you really see within yourself that was challenged and that you didn't know you had inside of you that you were able to learn?
I think the power to actually teach someone about something, making a difference in their life, especially younger kids who they don't really listen to you, right? That was one of the biggest challenges we faced during this project. How do you teach such small kids about topics that they might not necessarily want to learn about? So actually getting their interest, having their attention, and getting them involved was something that was really rewarding for the both of us. And I think overall, realizing that we have the power to do that and teach them something was one of the biggest things.
Yeah, kind of like what you said, to tell someone about something, you could memorize any information you want, but to actually have to teach something to someone, that's mastery. So we had to learn a lot of concepts ourselves and actually know what we're doing so that we could teach these kids so that they would know what they're doing too. Critical
Thinking, right? It's a good thing. Congratulations on such a great job today.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations. I was so impressed with the project and with your presentation. I have two quick questions for you. One, where did Project Fusion come from? Why did you name it that?
So initially, we went over how we wanted to combine mental and physical health and wellness, and the combination of everything. We came up with the word fusion, like combining everything, and also community was one of the biggest aspects of our project. So being involved and overall coming together, that's kind of how fusion came from that.
Wonderful, thank you. And then very importantly, how many hours sleep did each of you get last night?
Actually,
You got to tell the truth.
okay, well, we had a lot of tests today, and
Oh.
so it wasn't that much.
All right. Well, I'm hoping tonight you get a very good night's sleep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amisha and Zainab from Project Fusion. Thank you. Amazing. It's amazing what they're doing in high school. What was I doing? I was playing Street Fighter 2, learning E, Honda, and Ryu moves. It's amazing. Next, our next group, they are from Orange Glen High School. Esmeralda Matias, Jessica Gaspar, and Odalise Cruz. Please welcome Una Corita a la vez.
42% of Hispanics never visit a medical provider during the year. But it's a lack of financial stability or medical insurance. Many of them tend to stray away from reaching out to healthcare resources.
Our mission was to encourage underserved individuals to make decisions that prioritize their health, their education, and providing them with basic healthcare services.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Matias. I'm Odalise Cruz.
I'm Jessica Gaspar.
And we are Una Curita a la vez. For our project, we organized a free health fair event in collaboration with Neighborhood Healthcare in Phoenix, San Diego.
We had a food distribution and offered COVID-19 vaccines along with blood pressure, glucose, and dental screening.
People were able to directly connect with 13 different health resources. We directly impacted 190 individuals.
And 90% of attendees had not had a medical screening in over a year.
With your help, we hope to continue to offer free services, educate, and change people's perspectives on healthcare.
Hello. Our project is Una Curita a la vez. My name is Odalise Cruz.
I'm Esmeralda Matias.
And I'm Jessica Gaspar.
Una Curita a la vez translates to one bandage at a time. We chose the name because we wanted to pay homage to our culture and start healing the wounds created by healthcare and accessibility. Through our shared experiences, we realized how essential healthcare resources are for low-income, uninsured minorities. One of the many people affected by the lack of access to healthcare resources was my mom. I remember when I was about 12 years old, waking up to my aunt knocking. I was scared and confused, as I did not know where my parents were or what my aunt was there to tell me. She proceeded to tell my siblings and I that my mother was rushed to the hospital because her gallbladder was in danger of bursting and she could die. My mother had suffered from gallstones for 13 agonizing years. Due to being uninsured, she could not seek the surgery that she needed. And at the time, I did not understand why anyone would prioritize anything but their health. However, as I grew older, I realized that it was not that simple, that unfortunately many people had to face the decision between putting food on the table and paying for necessities or seeking health care, which can cost money. Which is why Esmeralda, Jessica, and I wanted to do something about it. For our project, we created a health resource fair. We had over 13 different resource tables, which included Universidad Popular and First Five, whose missions were similar with ours to provide education and health resources to low-income individuals in our community. We also had a food distribution, blood pressure, glucose, and dental screenings. Our project was made possible by our partnerships with Feeding San Diego and Neighborhood Healthcare.
We were able to secure these partnerships because we went up to the people we knew and asked for help. This is something that we learned is very crucial when organizing these types of events. I'm an active member of my community, and I'm actually a youth leader for the Drug-Free Coalition in my town. I went up to the main coordinator of this coalition and told her about our project, but most importantly, what we were struggling with. I told her how we were having trouble finding a medical provider to join our project. She was able to directly connect me with the outreach manager at Neighborhood Healthcare in Escondido, Damaris. We set up a meeting with Damaris, told her about our project, what we want to accomplish, and what we needed. She was ecstatic to see that a group of teens were willing to put on such an event, so she was more than happy to help us out. At the beginning of our project, we were set on doing this all alone, but after connecting with Damaris and Neighborhood, we learned we don't have to. There are people out there that share the same mission and vision as us and are willing to put in the time and effort to solve the same issues. Overall, our whole experience has taught us not to shy away from asking others for help.
And then here pictured on the screen is Alfredo, one of our attendees and who is also around 50 years old. He was also the winner of a 50-inch TV we were able to raffle off at our health fair. And when we went to go deliver his prize winnings, we were able to ask him a couple of questions, one of them being why he attended our event. He explained to us that he recognizes the importance of being informed with all the different resources that are in our area, because as a person is growing older, they are much more prone to becoming ill with diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure, which are very common in our Latin community. And one thing that really stood out to us when we did interview him was that with all the brochures he collected from our health fair, he is studying them little by little, which we were very happy to hear. And then overall with our event, we were able to impact 190 individuals. And out of everyone we were able to survey, 100% of them expressed on how they planned on utilizing these resources we introduced to them in the future.
Some of you may be asking, where are you guys taking this from here? Well, we think this could be big. Here are our next 3 steps. First, we'll solidify our partnership with San Isidro Health. This is an organization that has already demonstrated their interest in partnering with us. With them, we'll be able to provide cancer health screenings at our events. This is something that we think is important and should be more accessible in our communities. Second, we'll organize our health fair in Fallbrook. This is a town very close to where we live that has a high populace of low-income individuals. We want to share our services and resources with these people. And third, since we got such a positive response from our local community and many individuals coming up to us directly and asking, when are you guys doing this again? We will organize our health fair again in our town of Escondido. Overall, we anticipate to impact a minimum of 400 individuals.
And for those of you guys wondering, my mother is doing fine now, and she actually volunteered at our resource fair, and she is beyond proud that we were able to make a positive difference in our community.
With our health fairs, with the services and education that we are providing, we want more Hispanics and Latinos to start making conscious decisions that prioritize their health first. We want them to understand this. There is support out there. There are organizations, people ready to help them out of their circumstances and get them the health care they deserve. We want them to learn, similar to what we learned, to use their voice, reach out, and ask for help. As a team, we know that we can continue making an impact and change people's lives, one bandage at a time.
Una colita a la vez.
Thank you.
This time we're going to have questions from our judges. Thank you.
All right. Odalis, Jessica, and Esmeralda, very good job. Thank you so much. So my question for you, you mentioned that when you were looking for a partner, that it was hard. So what was it that actually changed and allowed you to form that partnership to make the event possible?
To make this partnership possible, I really just used the connections already established in my community. So, like I mentioned, I asked the person that I worked in the coalition with to help me out with the project. I asked her, do you know anybody in the community that could help us out with this project? And she was able to connect me with Neighborhood and the outreach manager there. And through her, we were able to also connect with Feeding San Diego and have the food distribution. Personally, I'm a very introverted person, so even asking and taking that first step to ask someone for help was a really big deal for me. But doing that really taught me that I could open up more doors when I do that.
Well, it sounds like you took a bet on yourself and you doubled down, so good job.
And just wonderful presentation, and what a great project that you have. It's very, very impressive, and it's so wonderful when you have something that has an important why to it. Your mother's health, I mean, to have that realization, I'm sure really helped a lot. When you take a look at different ways to roll this out in the future, I know you've got a couple of different programs that you're looking at, or different places at having these outreach events. Are you looking at ways that you can incorporate putting together some other groups within the different schools, like within the different high schools and stuff? Is this something that you think you can duplicate with a model where some other people could be doing the same thing?
Yeah, so we've been thinking a lot how this has really impacted our lives, and we know that other teens can do it. Something that we often heard from a lot of adults we talked to was, wow, I wish there was more teens like you going out in the community and doing this. And since we've already done this health fair, we know our mistakes and we know where we can improve. We basically have the blueprint to organize these events. So we were planning in the future to mentor other teens to help them organize health fair events or other events that they might have a passion in.
And have you given any thought to follow up with the people whose lives you've already touched, to be able to take a look at 6 months or a year down the road and see if they're still following it? Because one of the things that we always see is we have a tendency to do things right away and then we forget about them. So have you thought through about how to keep people kind of on the path?
Yeah, well, because a lot of people that did attend our fair, they were pretty close to us because our community is pretty small, so we do get close. And so we can really like connect with them, and also like because we do have a lot of friends at school, we can like keep them updated with a lot of stuff, like, oh, are you making sure your parents doing this, that? So really having like a sort of bond with our community, which helps a lot, keeping contact with everyone we were able to impact.
Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. The motto of my nonprofit is love, compassion, community, and you exhibit all three of those, so well done.
Ladies, I just really commend you. You took on one of the most important challenges our community is facing right now, and you did it in a way that was without fear, even though you acknowledged that, you know, you had some concerns and you had to ask for help. I know here at the university, health disparities is one of the big topics that our entire university is thinking about, and oftentimes people feel like, oh, it's just too big of a problem, there's nothing we can do about it. So the next time someone ever says that to me, I'm going to use you as an example, because you just inspire us around that. I'd just be curious real quick, how has this experience perhaps shaped your perspective as what you might want to do for a career?
Well, personally, I want to go into the medical field, and just the whole experience with my mom, that really shaped my perspective. But the satisfaction from the event, it felt really good. So I knew that I for sure probably am going to go into the medical field and like help people that are low income as well with my career.
Well, I should mind you, we actually have a good healthcare program here. I've heard, but I'm sorry, I don't know. The others have an answer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've always been interested in going to the medical field, which is kind of why we started this project. This is kind of like where I rooted from. And this whole experience has really taught me kind of like that feeling of seeing how much we help other people. Even if we don't talk to them, we really don't know them, or they were just there for the raffle. It was really satisfying it was just satisfying seeing how they were there. And a lot of people were coming up to us and asking, wow, is this really all free? And we kept having to reassure them that yes. And seeing that really showed me the problem that there is in the communities, how there isn't this free access. So I really want to continue solving this issue in the future. So definitely going into the medical field and doing a change is something I'm looking forward into doing.
And then for me, I am planning on going into engineering, which is different from medical, but a lot of lessons that I did learn from this experience will apply to it. Like a lot of like speaking out and really asking for help when I do need it, because engineering is a hard field and I know that I will need help with it a lot. So I'm open to anything and open to adapting and really asking for help.
Well, I'm sure you're going to be great. Congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. Give it up. Keep it going for them, everyone. Keep it going. Esmeralda, Jessica, and Odalise. Amazing future leaders. Lastly, our third team from all the way from Valencia High School, Gabrielle DeCure and Shrika Ande. Please welcome Hoops Encoders.
We started Hoops Encoders because of the lack of female representation in the computer science industry and in professional basketball. We want to reduce this disparity by empowering middle school girls to try these new activities, overcome challenges, build self-confidence, and pursue their passion.
We developed a 57-page workbook detailing the fundamentals of computer science and basketball. This curriculum is a scalable model that proves that anyone, even people without extensive experience, can teach computer science and basketball to youth.
Using these workbooks, our project totaled 50 instructional hours at High Ground and the Boys and Girls Club. We worked with around 45 young women, 96% of them reporting learning valuable skills, and 44% of them expressed an interest in pursuing a career in computer science. The workbooks are now available to a community of 7 million educators via Teachers Pay Teachers.
The future of the world as we know it can be a daunting picture to imagine, especially with all the new technology making our lives easier every day.
And the necessity to maintain a healthy lifestyle as our society becomes more and more automated.
That's why it becomes essential for society to focus on encouraging women to become powerful in computer science and to achieve their goals.
As two young women with the passion for computer science to pursue as a career and basketball as a healthy hobby, we look at the future and realize the importance for women influence in the computer science technology industry, as well as the need to teach more children about basketball.
With our initiative, we envision a future where the world of technology is available to all genders and physical activity becomes an essential part of all of our daily lives. Hi, my name is Gabrielle.
And I'm Shrika.
Our project is Hoops Encoders.
One of our main inspirations while developing Hoops Encoders was our grandmothers. My grandma was born in India, where she had limited access to education and barely only studied up until 5th grade, where she was soon married off as a teenager.
My grandmother was born into a family of Mexican migrant workers and was unfortunately discouraged from pursuing her dreams of studying business by her family, peers, teachers, and anyone who is around her. These are experiences that no female should have to endure.
Growing up, we saw fewer and fewer women in our computer science classes each year in high school. And we personally saw this as we walked into a classroom of 30 students and only saw 6 girls. That's when we knew it was time for change.
Only 20% of computer scientists are women, which is unacceptable in a world where technology and innovation are all around us.
Studies show that playing basketball pursuing a sport as well as being academically involved reduces physiological stress by 47% and is extremely good for your overall health.
That's why we decided to marry the two through Hoops Encoders.
And Gabby and I are extremely passionate about computer science and basketball as we've been playing the sport since elementary school and studying the subject since 9th grade. Growing up, we saw rarely any female representation in the basketball industry as we personally experienced this going to the 3rd round of our high school season last year and barely seeing any support even at our home game.
Basketball is such a valuable sport for young people because it allows them to develop teamwork skills and leadership opportunities that is valuable in any parts of life. That's why it's so important to encourage young women to try out this sport and to be active in their lives. Our mission is to inspire grade school girls from under-resourced communities to pursue their passion and to learn new things, which will in turn reduce the gender gap in the computer science and basketball industries.
So we developed a Hoops Encoders workbook curriculum, which is a fun and immersive method to teach girls computer science and basketball, which is passed out to you guys right now.
We then implemented this curriculum at Higher Ground in Anaheim and the Boys and Girls Club of Brea, Placentia, and Yorba Linda.
We also published it online, available to other educators.
Let's take a deeper look into the contents of our workbook.
So this includes one of the basketball pages of our workbook where we took the girls out to the outside courts and taught them the core principles of how to play defense.
This next page includes the use of the website code.org to teach the girls the basics of block coding in JavaScript, which was uniquely incorporated into our curriculum for them to utilize.
On the left includes some of the interactive activities we incorporated into our workbook to see what the girls learned and for us to know what we still have to review.
We also made it a point to include plenty of collaborative activities so the girls can work with each other to reflect on what they learned and to become better versions of themselves.
Throughout our camp, we hosted many female guest speakers and played fun activities with the girls so they could relate what they learned at our camp to the real world.
After working incredibly hard to learn the basics of computer science in such a short amount of time, the girls developed their own applications based on their personal interests, which allowed them to express their creativity and have a ton of fun in the process. As far as basketball, they participated in scrimmages and worked with volunteers to show off their new skills.
So here's Suzette. She was one of the girls at our camp, and we noticed that she was very shy at first. As we had guest speakers come by, she gained a lot more confidence and started participating more during group discussions. Inside the workbook includes a paper of an app sheet of some of the apps all the girls accomplished. And this is Suzette's app, So Sick, which is about sewing. And at the end of our camp, when we had a reporter come by, Suzette told us that she really wanted to show the reporter her app. And as she was explaining it, we clearly saw the pride and passion flow through her.
This next video includes some of the words of Suzette and some of the other girls who participated in our program.
Connecting with staff and friends. Getting to know new things, and now that I know all this stuff, I feel stronger. Yeah!
Very understanding, and if you have questions or like a problem, they can definitely help you with that, and I really like that kind of stuff. My favorite part about the app is just making the app, because I wanted to share my passion for sewing out there, because I'm just really passionate about that, and I know that a lot of people don't know what sewing is and don't know how to like get in there. So I'm like a little stepping stone to get there.
So through our program, we worked with over 45 girls, totaling over 50 hours of instruction. 96% of the girls felt they enjoyed the program and learned new things, and 44% of them truly believe that they want to pursue a career in computer science in the future, which is a huge step up from the only 6% in the beginning, and we're so proud of what they have accomplished.
So why does this all matter? Well, women from all backgrounds experience hardships which can affect them disproportionately.
That is why Hoops Encoders aims to not only teach them computer science and basketball, but to teach them skills of mental resilience, perseverance in the face of any difficulty, and healthy habits that will allow them to be successful and meet their full potential later in life. Our community partners include Higher Ground in Anaheim, the Boys and Girls Club, and Girl Scouts of Orange County, and many more. Hoops Encoders has a ton to look forward to in the future. As of now, as we said, our curriculum is available to 7 million educators via Teachers Pay Teachers.
And we also plan to implement our curriculum at other facilities and hosting workshop trainings in person and on Zoom to show other educators how to implement our program at their facilities.
As a Girl Scout, I was able to get in contact with the STEM lead of Girl Scouts of Orange County, who is already working with us to host workshops for the girls in the middle of the school year for Hoops Encoders, as well as a week-long summer camp this coming summer to improve their skills in basketball and computer science.
We also plan to stay in touch with our current community partners and reach out to other organizations. With additional funding, we plan to distribute more workbooks to every girl and as well as buy more computers so that we could work with more organizations that lack the technological supply we need.
We also have plans to translate our workbook into Spanish and possibly other languages to reach more communities, as well as hosting field trip opportunities for the girls so they can get hands-on experiences of computer science and basketball.
We wanted to thank all of our volunteers and guest speakers for coming, providing their time to the girls, acting as amazing role models, and always being available to them.
We'd also like to thank our mentor, Mr. Hazim Ansari, Ms. Sai, Mr. Kim, and the entire Dragon Kim Foundation for the funding, support, guidance, and inspiration they delivered to us that allowed us to execute our program the way that we did.
With Hoops Encoders, we hope that no young woman feels discouraged like our grandmothers did, or avoid the computer science or basketball industries.
Instead, we hope to inspire all women to make positive change in all areas where women are underrepresented, and to create a future where women feel inclined to share their voice with the world, just like Suzette did.
With your help, we can change the world one girl at a time. Thank you.
Amazing. We're going to have our final questioning from our judges. Thank you.
Well, congratulations. You did an awesome job, and what a great undertaking. I really love the combination of the two. Wonderful work. So I'm curious, in terms of putting together your curriculum, this is quite impressive. How long did this take you? And was this at the very beginning, were you thinking about putting together something like this, or did it evolve and you got to this point?
Mm-hmm. So we actually started this very shortly after we were accepted into the Dragon Kim Foundation, so we've spent many months working on it and developing it, but it wasn't our original plan. We were first just going to go into it like any curriculum, like with slides and with another form of learning, but we really wanted to think in the future about how we can spread this even when we're not around, and by creating a workbook, a physical representation of what we want to pass on to the world, we can really allow other people to utilize the same thing and to make a bigger impact.
And we also thought by having the workbooks, and after the camp when the girls can take it home, they can also learn more and use it as well.
Okay, so it has quite a bit of stickiness to it, right? I mean, it can stay on, it can live on. And then I'm curious for both of you, what for each one of you was the biggest aha, the biggest surprise that you really hadn't expected to learn?
Well, one of the things was, so our first program was at Higher Ground, and we actually went there like 2 or 3 times before to collect signups for our camp so that we could be prepared on like the first day and make sure we have like girls to teach. So we got like around 15, I think, and on the first day we see like 3 to 5 girls, and we were like really surprised. So that showed us that we had to like reach out to more people and have a bigger audience as well.
Yeah, it took a lot of mental resilience to keep going. But also, another thing that was really impactful to us is since we were working with some really young girls, and since they were in a lot of under-resourced communities, we had to be understanding of their attention span and the things they're going through at home when we're teaching them. So I think we had to incorporate a lot of love and inclusiveness when we were making this community so that they feel like they're learning, but they also feel like they're appreciated and they're having fun at the same time.
Wonderful. Good lessons.
All right, well, again, super impressed, especially this workbook, and I'll tell you, I've had on my to-do list, learn coding, and all I have to do now is bring this home, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm curious about Teachers Pay Teachers. Tell us more about what that is, and how did you even find that as a resource and partner up with them?
So Teachers Pay Teachers is actually just an online website, and we wanted to make a way for people, like an already made community of educators, to be able to see our workbook, not just like maybe make a website that might be hidden in the depths of the internet. So we wanted to make it available just by search. If anyone searches up computer science or basketball, it will come up immediately. So that's why we decided on Teachers Pay Teachers. We'd seen it at our school as well before, so that's why we wanted to promote it on there.
And we also got the idea, we were in a meeting with our mentor, and we were trying to find out how to make our program more scalable, and he had told us like, oh, you could look at more resources, and he recommended Teachers Pay Teachers as well.
Fantastic, thank you.
I just commend you for combining 3 things that all of us love, right? So it was fun, because you had a chance to kind of learn something new, and clearly the kids were having a fun time. It was healthy, which is something we all need to focus on, but I think it also just inspired the kids to think about things which they never thought about. For example, the 44% who are now thinking about computer science. It's such an important thing for us at a young age to kind of have a broader horizon. So what's the next horizon for you personally?
Well, both of us are interested in computer science. It's probably our favorite subject at school, and we're working hard to pursue it. So me personally, I'd like to study computer science. I also love genetic biology, so I'd love to combine both of them in sort of data analytics fusion.
Yeah, for me, after going through, like in high school in 9th grade, we took like AP Computer Science Principal courses advancing into 10th grade, and I really like love those classes with the logic and thinking about it, so I want to pursue a career in computer science as well.
So real quick, last question. I'm a basketball junkie. Favorite player?
Probably Kobe Bryant.
Good answer.
I think I'd have to go with Michael Jordan.
As a person from Chicago, even better answer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to the ladies. Hoops Encoders, everybody. Hoops Encoders. From over 35 projects, we had those 3 finalist groups that you saw. And I think one thing you saw was the girl power. Yeah, give it up for the young ladies, man. Like, all young ladies. I've seen a theme too. I've performed at over 100 colleges across the country. A lot of like Korean culture nights have invited me, and like almost, I'll say 80% of all the leadership of it was just all ladies. Like they're just kicking butt, you know. So much respect. Our judges have a very difficult task at hand, so we're going to invite our judges backstage right now, and while they are deliberating, we just have a few announcements, and right now I'd like to invite Daniel on stage, and he would like to make an announcement right now and just share a few things as we wrap it up here.
So if many of you are wondering why that hat is there, I know some of you guys know and some of you don't. That hat is actually Dragon's hat, and it's his favorite hat, and he wore it around all the time. So as a little tribute to Dragon, we have it at every event, and so that's what that is. And then this red hat has become a little bit of a symbol for the foundation. A good friend gave this to me, had it made, and when he gave it to me, I cried, and it's been very meaningful. So we do give all the fellows these red hats, and now black ones, for being part of the foundation. So anyway, that's a little indulgence there. Thank you. PK, thank you. Friends and family, we would now like to invite you to take part in another part of this interactive game that we like to play. You will see a QR code above, and this is where you guys get to vote for your favorite project. It's where you decide who you think deserves the extra $5,000 to carry on their project. So just the same way you did in voting for the quotes, you would vote for your choice. So we will be acknowledging the audience choice as well. So the other interactive component of this, I'm going to turn over to PK.
Thank you, Daniel. So yeah, once again, much respect to the Dragon King Foundation. The winning group who you vote for will receive a $5,000 grant today. And now, if you'd like to help us in our mission of inspiring youth to impact their communities, you can use the QR code on the screen to also make a tax-deductible donation today. The overall goal is $150,000. Right now, we're at $123,000 and $123,000. And so, if you can donate even any amount, it helps. As you see on the site, we're very close to reaching the goal. $50 will supply materials for one fellow at our 3 weekends of leadership training. It's just $50. $100 will pay the way for one Dragon fellow to enjoy a day of team building at the ropes course. $500 will supply 10 instruments for children and Dragon's music program. And $5,000 will support the expense for one fellowship project for our next cohort. So if you could do anything at all, those are just some amounts that can really help make an impact on the next generation. Yeah, I'm going to invite Daniel back up.
I didn't know if you guys were going to expect PK to do a little routine or not, and we can certainly have him do that. But this is the Dragon Challenge, and so I wanted to invite one of our past Dragon Fellows up to the stage here. We keep in touch with all of them. We love our Dragon Fellows. Once they graduate, we say they all become members of the Dragon family. And so please welcome Liam Davia Burke. So Liam was part of DKF4. He graduated 2 years ago, and he actually, along with his partner Patrick Lading, did the project called Compost Culture, and were winners of the Dragon Challenge. So, Liam, welcome.
Yeah, it's super awesome to be here again. I'm very excited to be here. Last time I was at the Dragon Challenge was 2 years ago, so it's super cool to be back here.
So Liam is going to be a freshman at UCLA. Go Bruins, right?
Go Bruins, yeah.
So Liam, tell us about your life, your project, where everything is in your life, and what's going on.
Yeah, so I'm starting school on the 22nd, so getting ready for college, but just a little bit about the project. Since we started as a project 2 years ago, we've actually become our own 501c3 nonprofit. We've been that for about over a year. We've been able to grow financially. We got a $7,500 grant from a separate organization. We raised over $10,000 at our last gala, and we make about $1,000 a month from our curbside pickup service. What we do is we collect people's food scraps and we compost it to help the environment. And we've also been able to grow our team, so we provide a lot of volunteer and leadership opportunities for students, because what we want to continue doing with our organization is keeping it entirely student-run. That's what makes it really unique. The customers benefit, but also the people doing the action benefit, and it's super important to me. I'm keeping it a part of my life.
Isn't that impressive? So you know, I had the privilege of watching Liam and his partner Patrick go through the whole program, along with all his cohort mates, and I particularly was intrigued by Liam, because, you know, what would you say your takeaway from the foundation and your experience was for your project, for you? How did you develop? And yeah, so.
I mean, yeah, guys, like 2 years ago, I would not be speaking on a stage. I was too afraid to ask questions in class, you know? And I mean, on a personal level, just being surrounded by all of these mentors and even the other students in the cohort, it's really inspiring. And as I kind of noticed myself among all these smart people, although it was really intimidating at first, I kind of grew a bit of self-confidence. In the beginning, I wouldn't say I was at the forefront. I wouldn't say I liked public speaking, but as I grew more confident over time, I mean, I was the executive director of Compost Culture. I helped propel it, and I mean, now I'm on the board. I just appointed the last executive director, and I've really been able to grow into this leader that I didn't necessarily think I would be before. And yeah, it's been great.
No girlfriend? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so there's somebody special I want to invite up also. We can't do this program without the mentors as well, and so we have somebody very special. Your mentor, Caroline Wong Nakata. Please come on up to the stage. So Caroline is the mentor that Liam and Patrick work with through the entirety of the, 7 months? About 7 months. And I remember Caroline saying after about the first month, she said, "These guys are going to win." So anyway, Caroline, you've been mentoring with us for every year for the last 4 or 5 years. So with that, I want to say thank you, but what keeps you coming back?
Well, I think Grace said after 5 years as a mentor, I get $5,000, right? I think that's what she said.
I hope I get something too.
No, how could you not be a mentor? I mean, to be with teens that, I mean, you know, you look at the world and it's like, I don't know if there's that much hope, but I look at the teens and I look at the young ones and I have hope. This is the generation that's gonna really propel us, and I don't know. So I just love being a mentor. I love being around the teens like Liam and Patrick and the team that I had this year, and I love being around Daniel and Grace and the foundation. So
thank you. I think she meant more Grace than me, but I'll take that. Caroline was the executive director of the Michael Chang Foundation and has a long, illustrious career in corporate America as well. So she, along with all the other mentors, have brought a wealth of knowledge and experiences and patience and wisdom, and have really been instrumental in sharing all that with the young fellows, with the young leaders. So we want to thank them all. Thank you. I know that I'm supposed to thank all the mentors a little bit later on in the program, but I think it's more appropriate to thank them all now. I know that there are a bunch of you guys in the audience. If you are a mentor currently or in previous years, would you please stand up? Thank you. See, I see Willie, wow, Dan Pittman, Austin, Peter. Yeah, there's many of you out there, and you know what? My heart goes out to all of you with an incredible amount of gratitude. These young people really benefit, and I think it's fair to say they listen. They take the coaching. And you know, we tell all the mentors, we first tell all the parents, leave your kids alone, don't do the project for them. And I think that most of the parents say, whew, I don't have to drive, right? Which is okay. And then we also tell the mentors, don't lead the project. We know that you could do the project for them. Don't. Let them lead, let them make the mistakes. And you know what, to your credit, you do, and you let all the kids lead their projects, and you let them make their mistakes. And for that, I am extremely grateful, because in making those mistakes is where there's so much learning. And so, thank you.
you know, as a mentor, I've learned so much from these kids. I mean, right, mentors? I mean, they teach us so much too, so it's very humbling, and so it goes both ways. And I have two girls, two teen girls, but if God gave me boys, it would be like students like Liam and Patrick. I'm so proud of you guys and what you guys have done, you know, what you guys will continue to do. They do great things.
Are you gonna cry?
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, good.
Okay, mentors are the GOATs. If you don't know what that means the greatest of all time. When you have someone like Caroline put a lot of belief into you and give you all of this help when you might have not been so secure in yourself, it really pushes you. So thank you, mentors.
There's one gentleman, you know, all you mentors have been very generous with your time, and many of you have also been very generous with your pocketbook as well. But Chad, where are you? Chad Gordon, is he here? Oh, Chad, stand up and say hi. Okay. Chad and his partner, Nate Basic, I'd love to acknowledge them. They have been super generous, not only with their time, but also with being a sponsor of not only this challenge, but ongoing support for the foundation. Nate couldn't be here today, but Chad is here. And Chad is actually the first one to be a mentor with us in one of the early years, and then brought in his partner, Nate, who has been with a mentor with us every year for the last, 5 years? Yeah, so. And when are we gonna get you back, Chad? All right, you heard that, so if many of you are not have not been mentors or even thinking about contributing that way and getting to know a lot of incredible kids, and I say kids, but real leaders, please be a mentor. Consider being a mentor. It is very rewarding. So to the mentors, thank you. Liam, keep going and doing great things. Have fun in college. Remember, keep your grades up, but have fun. And Caroline, thank you. Okay, I'm being told I got the mic again, and I know you really don't want to hear from me, but I'm sorry you got me. Okay, so there's a lot of people to thank here. I want to thank the Dragon Challenge organizing committee who made all of this possible. So with that, I would like to thank Elaine Chen, who is the chair of the, just come on the stage and wave, will you? Along with Elaine, I want to thank Kathy Michaels, Carrie Sonnenschein, Reiko Staus, Bonnie Carlson, and Susan Hasty. Everybody, if you're raise your hand. Yeah. Thank you so much for all the time and the caring and the support that you've put into organizing this incredible event. Now, we'd like to thank the sponsors, because it really doesn't happen without all the incredible sponsors. So, we'd like to thank the Massimo Foundation for being our presenting sponsor again this year for the third year in a row. Silver sponsors are Numina Partners, Visible Intellect, Chad and Nate. We want to thank Mr. Dennis Kuhl, who's here from the Angels Baseball organization. Thank you, sir. And we're rooting for the Angels, right, guys? Absolutely. Okay. Also want to thank George Figueroa and Pau Cagnina, his wife. They are mentors and are very strong contributors. The bronze sponsors are Carrie and Danny Sonnenschein, again, multi-year supporters, and Carrie is one of our founding board members. So, Carrie, thank you. The Wong Family Foundation. Our red sponsors are the Ansari family. Thank you. Bonnie Carlson and William Young. Chang and Helen Yi. Elaine Chen and Brandon Emlinger. Farmers and Merchants Bank. Jung Lim and Karen Kuo Lim. Padilla Consulting. Pete and Vanessa Hardigan. Randall and Sarah Masaki. Reiko and Christian Staus. And Susan Hasty. Without these sponsors, and there's so many more supporters all throughout the year, and we want to thank you all. Without all of you and the financial support that you give, we certainly could not do this. And so thank you for believing in us, and thank you for believing in our mission and what we're trying to do in the community. Thank you. Now, next, I would like to acknowledge our foundation board of directors, our staff, and our interns. I'm going to lump them all together. You've had a lot of overlap, but we have a lot of our founding board members here. Please raise your hand. Yeah, thank you. Our staff and former staff, right? Yeah. And our interns do an incredible job. So, now over the year, we work with about 130 plus community partners, And we do that year in and year out. And again, that is an important part of of that machinery that we are all trying to come together as a community. This year, we'd like to acknowledge one in particular, and that is our 2022, I keep wanting to say 19, 2022 Community Partner Award goes to the Mix Academy. The Mix Academy has been committed to serving the community of Santa Ana, where more than 20% of the population lives below the poverty line. And they are dedicated to providing food, education, and services to this incredible community there. And in particular, these last couple years, we have been able to run, in partnership with them, the Dragon Camp, where we've served over 100 students in Santa every year with a mixture of programs, classes, and camps. And we couldn't do that without them. So Maribel Tuan, the executive director of the Mix Academy, are you here? Come on up, please. All right, guys, I'm almost done. The next was thanking the mentors. I've already done that, so you guys pat yourselves on the back. Thank you. But I will say, I want to also thank the 2022 fellows, the Dragon Fellows themselves, who have put in a lot of time. I want to say that we are very, very proud of you all. And to the parents out there, we are filled with gratitude for you and want to thank you for the love and support that you've given your children. Wow. Yeah, and they're not so much children anymore. They are young leaders, and they're the ones that inspire us to know that the future is bright. And so to allow us to spend a little time with them is an incredible honor and pleasure for us. So thank you. And you parents should be commended for all the hard work that you have put in. So great job. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to the one you really want to hear, which is PK. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Just want to give an update. We're at $126,000, so thank you so much, everyone, for giving. You could scan your QR code. You can give anything. Once again, I just want to say real quick, even $50 will supply materials for one fellow at our 3 weekends. $100 will pay for the way for ropes course. $500 will supply 10 instruments. And if one person just wants to donate $14,000 right now, thank you very much. You could do that as well. If you want to take off your watch, you can donate that to Daniel and Grace. Anything you want to do helps so much, but thank you all seriously for your donations. We're going to end it with our judges and Amber and Daniel and Grace coming back. Judges, please welcome back to the audience. We want to congratulate the finalists for all their hard work. All the Dragon Fellows, please come out as well. All the Dragon Fellows and judges, everyone, please come on stage. If we can let's fill the stage right here. And first, we're going to announce. Come on up. They work so hard, and they're more of a leader than I ever was in high school. Much respect to you. I bow down to you, not because I'm Asian, but I bow down to you with my heart. Now we're going to announce the Audience Choice Award. All right, the team that received the most votes from our audience in America. We broadcast this all throughout America tonight, and the Audience Choice Award goes to Project Fusion. Congratulations. Thank you. And Daniel just whispered in my ear, but of course, we're all winners tonight, except only one will win the 5,000. I just want to let you know. But no, definitely. Much respect to you. Out of 35 groups, down to the last 3 here, and the final winner, I wasn't given the final winner, the winning group. I wasn't given the final winner. What's up? Oh, okay. Dean Williamson will announce our winner here.
So clearly, I had a lot of big decisions to make today, but this was by far the hardest that I'm probably going to make in a very, very long time. Can we just give everyone a round of applause here? One of the things that the judges noticed was the 3 teams that we saw all decided to take just perhaps the most challenging problems our society is facing right now. Mental health, physical well-being, and then also just issues around gender divide and access into critical careers around technology. And so the fact that they looked at these issues and just were undaunted and came up with such innovative, and all of the judges also acknowledged, I never thought about that. Innovative solutions is truly amazing. In the end, we were forced. We beat into submission. We had to pick at least one, and the one that we decided to pick was Una Carita Alaves.
Congratulations! Truly, all of them doing amazing community work. Amazing. Yeah, judges, if you can come in too. Thank you.
Okay. One of the things we always do, I told you about the red hats. Well, judges get red hats. So.
And as I take the picture, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight, for part of this great organization and cause of turning just pain into such a positive event that keeps growing and making an eternal impact on the next generation. So we want to thank you and thank Grace and Daniel for your vision and dedication, and we're proud to support Daniel's Dragon's legacy, and we're all here tonight to celebrate the remarkable work of the Dragon Kim Foundation. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Oh, I'm so sorry. One more thing. Sorry. Final words. Yes. Final words.
Breaking announcement, as usual, at the Dragon Challenge. We have an announcement from Anita Ortiz, representing the Jones Feliciano organization.
All right, well, thank you, and congratulations again to everybody. Thank you for that, too, I'm short. So at Jones Feliciano, 3 of the pillars that they focus on are education, equity, and empowerment. And Hoops Encoders embodied all 3 of those. So on behalf of Jones Feliciano, we're going to give another $5,000. And congratulations.
You know, this often happens, even if, well, typically everybody gets funded one way or another. Right, Tony?
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to express to you my gratitude for coming out this evening. I know everybody's very busy. This is a moment for Grace and I to think about Dragon. All of you, it's about the impact that these amazing leaders make in the community. And we are grateful and blessed to be part of their contribution, their growth. And, you know, I've often heard it from many, many people as they leave. No matter what craziness is happening out there in the world, it's nice to know that the future is in their hands, right? So, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.